Hello. Today's tutorial is all about how you scale up a small image into a bigger one. It's something that I know has been a bit of a challenge for some people for quite some time. Scaling an image up from a small image to a larger image is very straightforward if the aspect ratio is the same. So what is the aspect ratio and how do you measure it? The aspect ratio is the width divided by the height. This canvas measures 42 centimeters wide by 30 centimeters high. If you divide 42 by 30, that gives you a reduced fraction of 7/5. Now take your photograph measuring 7 by 5 inches, place it underneath the straight edge into the bottom left hand corner of my canvas, and checking whether the straight edge goes from the bottom left hand corner of both the canvas and the photograph through the top right hand corner of the photograph and onwards into the top right hand corner of the canvas. If that's a true diagonal, then both images have the same aspect ratio. I'm now going to divide my photograph into the 16 separate units. So I'm looking at the long side, which is 7 inches, so halfway is 3.5 inches, and half of that is 1 3/4 inches. And similarly again, there's the midpoint, which is 3.5, and then 1 3/4 inches in from the lower mark, and I mark there. I do the same on the opposite side and I join those lines up. I then do the same on the narrower sides and I join those lines up. So here's my photograph measuring 7 by 5 inches, which has now been divided into the 16 equal parts. The next stage is to mark up the canvas in the same way as I've done with this photograph. Finding the midpoint on the long side, dividing that in half, and doing the same with the remainder, dividing that in half. I can then remove my tape measure. I've already marked up the other sides, so I can then put my straight edge to connect up those initial marks. Just going to check that's accurate before I mark the lines. So now I've got my canvas marked up on one side. Now I'm going to mark it up on the other. And there we have it. So I now have my canvas marked up in 16 rectangular shapes, scaling my drawing from the photograph up onto my canvas.